Hello, everyone. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and this is Howard. And we are going to do part 3 of our ragdoll today. I just got to get Howard to get back over in his basket. He just wants loving right now. But we're going to move Howie. Here you go, Howie. So has everybody got their dolls stuffed? I might have to move the camera around just to get us at a good angle. So today we're going to put our dolls together. I have already, I don't have chat. Why don't I have a chat? There you guys are. Okay. Hi, Nettie. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Angie. Hi, Safia. Okay, I have chat now. Yay. And you guys can hear me okay. I hope. So I went ahead to save us a little time this morning, and I have put one arm and one leg on my doll. So here we go. So here's her arm. And I didn't use a button after all. I just stitched her arm on. And I figured to save us time, to get us, it's covered in cat hair. Imagine that. And then here's the leg. And I'll show you guys how to do the joints. So she's got an elbow and a knee. So, but I've left her headless because Anne was having trouble getting her head on her doll, and I think I know what her problem was. Hi, Janet. Anne, I think you might need to stuff the head more, but we'll do the head in a minute. Let's do the arm first. So here's my arm. And I see Anne is here, Nettie's here, Sharon's here, Janet Nash, Janet Baum, Sharon, Angie. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Nashwa. So I'm going to take the arm I've already done and that's sewed to the doll, just so I get the elbow in the right place, and line up my fingertips like so. So I know this elbow needs to go right there to be this one. But I flip the arm over, and I'm going to start with the elbow part. I don't think this has a knot in it, but you don't necessarily need a knot. You just need to catch the tails and don't let them through. So what if I flip my doll over here so I can show you? I need the beginning of her elbow. So what you do is you start on one side about a 1/4 inch from the stitch line and insert your needle. So here's your stitch line. I need to get rid of some of this light. We've got too much light. Sorry, Howard, I'll move it so you can still see. All right. And you want to go and come out a 1/4 inch on the other side of it. So about like that. So that's how your needle needs to be. And you're going to pull that through and just catch the tail of the thread. I'm not going to put a knot in it because I don't really want a bunch of knots on the outside. So I've left about 1.5 inches of thread. I'm going to hold that under my thumb. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up about a 1/4 inch on the side you just came out of, come up a 1/4 inch and still about a 1/4 inch away from the seam, and then go back across. So you're like that. So here's where we went through the first time. Now we're coming back through the other side. Okay. You're going to draw that up till it's almost tight. You just don't want to pull hard right now because you'll pull your thread because you don't have a knot. Go back in where you started. Come out on the other side just like you did. Now you can give it a pull and it creates an elbow. See the elbow? And you're going to do that like 3 or 4 times on the back of the arm. Just draw it up. Whatever size you want your elbow. Just draw that up. That's twice around and 3 times around. And then when you get back to this side, just wait. And now you can cut these tails free because it's wrapped around in there. You can cut that down. So there's our little elbow. See? This is the back side of the elbow. Now, just like your arm, you've got the little nodule back here. That's what we just made. Now we need to make it flat on the front so that it'll bend like this. Okay? So what you're going to do, instead of going back through under there, you're going to take your needle, you're going to go in the hole, but then you're going to flip your arm over and you're going to come out farther away from the seam on the top. So about maybe 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch, and then just come up through and then go across. And when you go back in on the other side, about that same distance, you want to make sure you're coming out on the opposite side of the elbow at the back, either at the top of it or at the bottom. You know, you got an in and out right here. So you're going to pull that through here. And then you go back through on the opposite one, but come over here on the opposite side of the elbow. So we're on this side on the back. And you want to come out here. And now that we've done it a couple times, make sure your thread is not garbled like that. And when you pull it now, it should crease. See? And it's starting to form the crease here in the arm. You have to go in and out several times and try to utilize the same holes. You know, where you've made your elbow in the back. There we go. See, we're getting a bend in our elbow now. You just want to try to be close to the same stitch each time. And do this, 4 or 5 times. And just make sure you're down where the thread is here. You will end up with a knot at the end. But what this does is it gives your dolly an elbow. So you want the seam to run on the top and the back of her arm. All right. It's not the greatest looking elbow in the world, but she's a rag doll, so I'm just going to let her go with it. All right, that's pretty good. So I'm going to turn it to the elbow side and bend my arm. I'm going to put a small knot in. So I'm going to just go under a couple threads here at the back and then wrap my thread about 2 or 3 times and draw up a knot. And then what you're going to do, I'll look at my phone here. Somebody's chatting me. Just give me a minute. I'm going to hide this tail. I'm going to stick the needle in and just come out somewhere else on her arm. And then not in the same hole, but just close by, go back in and come out somewhere else. And what this does is it buries that tail. And then you can just cut this free. Let me see who's chatting at me. So there we have our elbow. The back side should have the elbow on it. And then on the top, you should have your crease that forms the bend. See? And I'm going to check this phone real quick because somebody's chatting me. And yes, this doll is all in a playlist. Let me make sure this isn't important. Got a comment from Barb Owen. She's looking at my Instagram. All right, that's all that was. All right. So right now I want to know, did you get the elbow? Did you see how to do that? Okay. Any questions on making your elbows? The flat side of the elbow is where your thumb is on top. And then where your fingers are and it's flat, that's where your little nodule for your elbow is. See the little nodule? So now we're going to have to attach her to her body. Hi, Kimberly. I'm going to put her arm on. So if you look at where I've applied this arm already, let me see if I can get her to behave. I want to try to make, you don't want to definitely center it. The arm is kind of on the side, but tilted toward the front. So the back of her arm sticks out a little bit more than the front. So I want to repeat that on this side. And this side, this time I am going to put a knot in it because I'm going to hide this knot under her arm. Isn't it a cute little elbow? All right. So I'm going to take the needle and I'm just going to insert it just below her shoulder and come out toward the top of her shoulder. This is going to be the hardest part to show you guys. All right. I'm going to just snip a little of these tails off. It's all going to get hidden anyway. So I'm looking at my dolly and I want the rounded part to be at the top. It may not turn out perfect, and I'm not real worried about that. So I'm going to just put her on here. And I definitely want, I'm going to try to make it the same. Okay, I'm back. All right. You're going to go in and out the arm like this. And then I want you to come back over and go in and out the shoulder. Just a small little stitch and kind of overlap. So here I've come out of the body, in and out the arm, and now I'm going to come back to almost where I started and go in and out the body and pull it taut. And I'm just going to do that all around the body. And I'm just holding it with my finger. That's a pretty good shot there. In and out the body. And the closer the stitches, the stronger it will be. Now, every once in a while, give her a look and see how you're doing. Because as we go toward the back, her arm is not going to be sewn. Ouch! You're not going to like smush this flat and sew around. Because see how I've got this, here's the seam of the arm and it comes around here. Oh, I've got myself good. You want the seam to turn away from the body as you go toward the back. So every once in a while, I'll stop and look at it. Go in and out the body. And I really want to see, I'm not going near the seam line. As I go toward the back, I'm coming a little bit away from the seam line. Probably should run get a Band-Aid. Little stitches. All right, I've got the top of her arm is sewed on now. I just want to give her a look. It's going pretty good. Now I want to know how far down to come to make her even here. So I'm thinking I'll come across here. And what you do is push down on the, I'm going to have to get a Band-Aid, you guys, because this is bleeding pretty good. Hang on. First aid, first aid. Don't mind me. All right, I'm sorry about that, guys, but I don't want to get blood juice all over my dolly. Give me just a sec. I guess I should keep Band-Aids right here on the desk. All right. All right. That's better. Okay. So now, like I was saying, if you hold your doll and you see where you sewed your other arm down, because I'm trying to copy it a bit here. My arm shifted down, so she's going to be a little lop-shouldered, but that it'll be all right. I might kind of fix that a little bit when I get back around. But you see where it is? Grab her like on her arm and press about how deep you need to go, and then bend her arm back on itself so you know to stitch under her arm here. So I'm in the body now. I'm going to come back through the arm a bit here. I don't know why the connection keeps going. Disappear. I'll be back. Again, little stitches with parts of it overlapping. Like Dee Dee was talking about the strength of the joints on that pen storage she was doing. The same with stitches. If you overlap them a little bit, you know, and step back from where you came out. Like if I do this, I come out on the arm. Instead of going straight across here, I'm going to come back away from that a little bit. And I'm going to just see how we're doing with the arm. And you can always go back and readjust it. It's looking pretty good. Okay. If you get all the way around and it doesn't look quite right, go back in and put a few more stitches in the area that you think needs it. And it's not a race to get her finished. All right, and I do want to curve her arm back toward the front a bit. So we need to start working. I'm pulling her closer in. Her arms may be in different planes from one another, but you can, like I said, with more stitches, you can make adjustments. Okay, I can see I've got my arms a little off, but I think we can make it work. And it dropped down a little, so she is a little lopsided. I'm trying to pay attention to where I'm sewing, guys. I'll check chat here in just a minute. I don't want to stab myself like that again. All right, I'm going to bring her shoulder down to meet her arm a bit just by going in. Okay, then going in the arm and then coming a little higher on the shoulder to take the next stitch. And that brings her shoulder back down a little bit. So one of her arms is more bent and a little raised compared to the other. Again, I'm going a little higher on the shoulder just to get this extra fabric to look more smooth against the arm. There you go. See how I pulled this down to kind of match the arm a little better? With practice, you'd get better at making everything even. But right now, I just want to get her sewn together. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, I'm going to go ahead and knot this off back here just like I did on her elbow. I'm going to insert the needle, then take the thread down here. Make sure you get both strands. The Band-Aid is not helping the situation, but all right. I'm going to take this part here and wrap it around the needle 2 or 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then pull that down close to the fabric and then just pull your needle through and you've made your knot. And then we'll hide the knot again. Go in and maybe you could even come out her arm over here. And then that tail of thread is buried inside her arm. All right, so now she has 2 arms. And I have a cat fight on my front porch. No live would be without it. Knock it off. And to think the joys of it is the neighbors have another batch of kittens. They'll be turning out soon. Anyway, all right. So there you go. Oh, Janet had to go. And there's Mary. Hi, Mary. Anybody I missed? All right. So now we're going to do the knee and the joint at the back of the knee. So I'll show you how to do that on her leg. And we want to make sure it's at about the same spot. So line up her feet. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a pin in here about where I want this next knee to go, like that. We'll set our lady over there. I'm going to sit down and get some more thread, and we're going to do the knee just exactly. I need a water gun, like a super soaker. That would be great. I might have to look at that, and because it just gets old, all these cat fights. All right, let's see if I can thread a needle. Hopefully I won't jab myself anymore. All right. And get my tails even. Maybe. I would have used a different color thread for you guys to be able to see easier, but then that kind of defeats the purpose of trying to make them all kind of matchy-matchy. And got my grandma's hunk of beeswax here that I am using because this is like 3 lifetimes worth of beeswax. I'll never use all that up. All right. All right, I just want these tails to be at about the same. All right, and I'm going to do just like I did before. I'm not going to tie a knot, okay? I'm going to just do the knee just like I did before. So I'm going to go in about 1/4 inch on one side of the leg and come out about 1/4 inch from the other side of the leg. I'm going to take my guide pin back out. I'm going to pull this through, and then I'm going to stop and just grab this thread and hold it under my thumb. You know what I ought to do? This might help. Let's see. All right. Oh, yeah. So now we'll go back in about 1/4 inch down from that, and then come out about 1/4 inch down from the original string and gently pull it through, and then go back through again And always try to go in and out the same holes that you've already made. And now we can start drawing it a little tighter. And do that about 4 times. So there's 2 times around. And pull it a little tighter. That's a pretty good knee. We don't need to pull any tighter. Uh-oh. I'm going to have a thready knee because I didn't pull it smooth through. I'm not going to worry about it though. It's a doll. All right, that's pretty good. I'm going to go and come out this other side. Now remember, we can go ahead and trim this tail short because it's all locked up in there, sewn around 3 times. Now we need to create the flat part at the back. So go back in where, like you would go in to come across here, but you're going to go toward the back of the leg and you're going to come away from that seam off to the edge of the leg and then come across the back of the leg and go in and come out. You want to be farther away. You want to be like right at the edge of the leg, but you want to come out at the kneecap. Okay. And we're going to draw that up and it starts pulling the back flat. See? And that's how you create your knee. Now we're going to go back in but come out the other side where we started the back of the knee and pull it tight. Each time you go through, pull it a little tighter until you get a little bit of a bend in the leg. Go across the leg, come back out at the knee. And see, I think about 1 or 2 more times and we'll have enough bend in the knee that we can tie it off. And if you put the knot at the back, then it's not visible on the leg. And we can come across the back of the knee and go back in. Okay. And go in and come out this other side of the knee. All right. And that's how you get your little knees. So I'm going to tie this off. And again, you're probably not going to get an even knee on each leg and this, that, and the other. It's a doll. A handmade doll. But see, now she's got a little joint. Woo! She can bend her knees. She's a little stiff, though. I don't think she could get up and down off the floor like I do. All right, so I've gone in, and now I'm going to hide that thread again inside the leg. Just come out some other place randomly and snip it off. All right. Hi, Kathy D. Kathy D, is it your birthday today? If it is, happy birthday. Do you think Dolly might need to go to physical therapy? I don't know, Anne. Maybe. All right. So here's the doll. And instead of doing the buttons, I've been sewing these on. So what I did for this leg is I just butted up against and kind of pushed on it till it created a little, this folded over the edge. See how it's come down over the edge of the leg? I want to kind of repeat that, but let's make sure we sew it on in the right direction or she'll look funny. So I'm just going to put that on there. Excuse the cat hair. It's everywhere. But I am going to hide my knot underneath my stitches. So where the leg is going to be, it's not you. So there's another Kathy D with a birthday today. All right. I'm going to go in exactly where I'm going to put the leg, but I'm going to come out at the side. Okay. And then I'm going to line this leg up. And what I did is I just held it with my fingers until I got it started. If you need to, I'm going to have to stand up to make sure I'm getting her kind of kind of even, and you kind of just push up into her